something bad to us, we are going to do things to you that have never been done before.
Well, howdy, folks. How are you? Hope you're having a bloody good day today. It's been not too shabby around my part of the world. I managed to get out of one job to get into two more, but I got 2.5 jobs completed out of the 3 that I had really planned to get done for the day. So I'd consider that probably a bit of a win on the scale of things I have to get done during the day. So tomorrow is going to be a bit different. Tomorrow I'm going to spend the day feeding a wood chipper. No, I won't be wearing any loose clothing. I will endeavour to stand well back and not put anything of permanence inside the blades of whatever the hell you want to call them. Death, I suppose, would be the best way to describe it. So, yeah, we'll be hanging away from the chipper, but I will take a little bit of video so you can see that I am capable of doing small amounts of manual work on the odd occasion. Sunflower, first in the room tonight. Hello, gorgeous. Hope you're going well. You wearing yours still? I have taken mine off, believe it or not, but not for very long. And I've got another one that's over there perfectly clean, but I'm going to wear this one to death until I have to go and shove it in the washing machine. But I am loving how warm our wind cheaters are. So if you're looking for a Voice of Freedom with a FBN logo on the back, kind of hoodie to keep you warm, we've got T-shirts, and I think Vince is putting up, people were suggesting coffee mugs and a few other bits and pieces. So I think Vince was looking at what we could do with that. So fingers crossed, coming up in the near future. If not already on the website, go over and have a look at vofhq.com. Silver Fox, God love you. Wonder if I found my skinny friend. I'm missing something there. I have a few skinny friends. Well, let's face it, most people who stand beside me look skinny. So, Pete from Pinaroo, nice to see you in. Hello, Margot. Debs, Chaos is back in town. Peg's Place. Rachel, you seem to be very, very happy. Lionsgate Day tomorrow. 0808 on the 8th of the 8th. That makes perfect sense. Also 20:08 p.m. Okay, yeah. Did I find Stella? We should have a talk about that, Rachel. What else is going on? I started a few of these comments earlier. So hello to Aussie Sue. Hope you're doing well. And no sign of the unwanted friend last night. I don't know what I heard and thought I saw, but I found nothing untoward. And I did get underneath the dashboard and have a bloody good look up underneath just to make sure. But no, nothing untoward. Thank you, Lord. I didn't have to become a snake catcher last night. I'm not too perturbed by snakes. They don't worry me too much. Even the venomous ones. I've had a very, 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 very small amount to do with reptiles, and I'm pretty confident with just about all of them. But if I didn't have to touch an eastern brown or a red belly, I probably wouldn't. So unless I actually found one in here, in which case I would not kill it, I would get it out. But I wouldn't suggest that everybody tries that. Like I say, I've got a mate who is the Gold Coast snake catcher, and I spent a lot of time with him learning how to handle snakes, including venomous ones, to a point where I was very comfortable with a tiger snake sitting on my shoulder here, looking at me, and handling an eastern brown. Was an interesting one for that. But, I did it, and I didn't die, and I didn't shake or scream or run away, and I had a Eastern Brown in my hands. So that was an interesting experience, and I have removed a couple of snakes from various different locations that they shouldn't have been in over the years, neighbours' homes and that kind of thing, because I would always see a snake happily removed and put somewhere where it's more likely to find a feed than having it dealt with by a neighbour with a shovel or something similar. So, yeah, never been one for killing too many things if I can possibly help it. So I know a lot of you might feel very differently about snakes. I kind of feel that way about spiders. So there you go. And cane toads. But there are so many interesting ways to kill cane toads. Maybe we should have a little... Oh, no, we shouldn't do that. We'll get banned again. There might be a way and mean around that. And as we head further north in the not too distant future, we might find new, novel and interesting ways that cane toads are meeting their demise. Being a pest, of course, for those of you outside Australia who don't understand what a cane toad is, it was an introduced species that has, well, very little to do with cane, really. It was introduced to eat the cane beetle, the dung beetle, but it didn't. Well, it did, but then it ate everything else too. A lot of Australian fauna has died at the hands of cane toads, not because they are ravenously hungry, because the little bastards are poisonous. And if you eat one, it's likely to do your dog, your cat, your bird, anything, quite a mischief, kill it. So cane toads are fair game for anyone possessing anything from a water pistol filled with Dettol to a, well, depending on your swing, a 3 to 7 iron, I find usually works the best. I haven't been out killing cane toads a long time though, so don't mind killing cane toads. About the only thing I don't mind. Silver fox. This is sad news indeed. Unfortunately, it is familiar news, which is sad. Many people are finding neighbours, friends. In fact, there was a finding recently on a 9-year-old girl who passed away on a flight, I think it was, on a plane. None of it is being attributed to, the jibbity jab. It's all being attributed to immune disorders. They were immunosuppressed or immuno this or that or whatever. They had an aneurysm, or they had a heart attack, or their kidneys just decided to fall over. It's very sad, and Dominic Perrottet, in his final speech to Parliament, which happened, I want to say, the day before yesterday. Let me just see if I've got it here. I do have it. I'm just going to need to present it in a different way. This is it here.
Believe you got more than wrong. And without dwelling on everything we got wrong, I believe it's important to point out one mistake which was made by governments here and around the world, and that was the strict enforcement of vaccine mandates. Health officials and governments were acting with the right intentions to stop the spread. But if the impact of vaccines on transmission was limited at best, as is now mostly accepted, the law should have left more room for respect of freedom. Vaccines saved lives.
They're still going on with the lie, but there's a but.
But ultimately, mandates were wrong. People's personal choices shouldn't have cost them their jobs. When I became Premier, we removed them, or the ones we actually could, but this should have happened faster. And if a pandemic comes again, we need to get a better balance, encouraging people to take action, whilst at the same time protecting people's fundamental liberty.
Which goes against, of course, absolutely everything that the World Health Organization has now got in place with its member nations, all 196 of them that have signed up, including Australia, who very proudly joined earlier this year to combine a global pandemic response, if you like, plan. And we all know where the hell that's going, sadly. Michelle, you've been, you found, oh, wow, 2 people. Terribly sad, terribly sad. I do hope more and more are waking up every day. I see harm. I started a comment, but I can't see it now, so maybe it's up a lot further than where I think I am. About harm. Harm, you're blaming me for your cold? You bastard. I'm sure you gave it to me. It was you that came to this beautiful, beautiful paradise in Queensland and brought your pox with you. And no, while we weren't swapping spit, we did shake hands a lot. Anyway, I hope you're getting better, brother. And I'm hopeful you've got your van sorted. Gone and got your bits of paperwork as were required. That way, you'll be able to get on the road and either head north again and come with me a little further north if that's the plan, or possibly you might be hanging around south or southward and waiting for an event coming up a little later on this year, and one that we are going to be discussing tonight. Let's bring it up to have a little bit of a look to begin. The My Place Victorian Campout for 2024 is going to happen on Friday, November the 29th through to Sunday, December the 1st. It is family friendly. It is pet friendly. There is camping. There are self-contained units. There are cabins. There are teepees. All sorts of different opportunities and options for you to be part of it. But be warned, there are 2 women in charge that if you disrespect in any way, shape or form, I'll be on you, and so will a whole heap of other people. I would love you to meet from Vic West Organics and My Place Victoria, the lovely Doris, and Becio, who is no stranger to us here. But she has her other foot on, or other boot on the other foot tonight. Well, ladies, since we had a little pre-chat, I can see you've both changed your hair. It looks lovely. Beautiful. You've done well.
Carl the snake whisperer, hey?
Oh, I don't know about that far. I did liberate a snake that was being slowly murdered by a household of drug addicts once. And it was, just being kept in a very, 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 very tragic way. So I not only took the snake, I took the enclosure that it was in as well, and tried nursing the snake back to health. Cost a bloody fortune. Shed it 7 times in about 4 weeks, and trying to get it back into life. But eventually it passed away, which was a bit sad and a waste of $700+. But trying to do the right thing, I learned a lot. Snake husbandry. It was a really nice. Well, it wasn't. It was a very sick carpet python, but yeah. I learned too. If you're at all interested, here's just. Don't know that you girls are up for keeping snakes, but a lot of people think that if you're going to get a python and you're feeding it, bear in mind they're reptiles. You keep feeding them, they'll keep growing. You don't feed them, they're not going to die. They'll quite happily eat once or twice a year and not grow too much. But if you want to grow one, you feed them regularly and they'll grow. So that in part was a bit of the problem that we had with this one, in that they'd been trying to live feed it, which I think in most states is probably illegal, and that's getting a mouse or a rat, a live one, and throwing it into where the snake is living, and then watching intently for the snake to hunt it down and get it, which is fine, maybe if the snake knows how to do that. But if you've had a snake that's used to being fed, it doesn't really know. So this particular snake doctor that I'd taken this python to see if we could save it, he rolled out a snake skin that was over 4.5 meters long, beautiful big carpet python, and it was full of holes, had these weird holes in it. And he said, "Do you know what caused those holes?" And I said, "No." And he said, "The owner had it in its terrarium or in its enclosure, and he was a miner, and he threw a rat in with it for breakfast when he left in the morning. And when he came home that night, the rat had nearly killed his snake, chewed holes in it all over it. And that's because the snake wasn't particularly hungry. The rat was particularly aggressive, and it won the fight. Of course, they go for the eyes too. They try and take the eyes out of the snake. So if you ever think you might want to keep a snake and live feed it, think twice. Don't do that. Plenty of much more humane ways to feed your snake, if indeed you have to have one. I don't really know why people have to have one, although there are some beautiful, and I have friends who own a couple of absolutely magnificent white Darwin pythons or carpet pythons, North Queensland pythons, and one is a white carpet python, a beautiful white carpet python. So I understand the fascination with them, but I'd much rather see them in the bush, and as many people would prefer not to.
Well, talking about going big bush, we are going.
Let's
and
go
I'm
back to the
glad
bush.
you're coming. I'm glad you're coming because you can do your charms, work your charms on snakes, which might be around.
Keep an eye out for the snakes. Yes, I see Darren.
Doris.
Oh shit, Darren's here.
Last I heard, he was somewhere between Ayers Rock and or Uluru and Alice Springs, or Alice Springs and Coober Pedy. I'm not quite sure which.
Yeah, I was falling off his deck chair last night when I was on the phone to him.
Is that right? That's never a good look. That's never a good look.
We've got a bit of a
he did tell me he walked around the rock, though. 11 kilometres. That's a pretty good stumble. 11 kilometres around the rock. So
it's a good hike, eh?
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll have to put Carl into the schedule for our little camp out as the snake catcher or something.
Yes, he could.
Yeah, well,
a little snake belly dance, perhaps.
Oh, girls, please! Oh,
listen, we're putting everyone to work. We're putting everyone to work.
Well, that'll work great. That'll work great.
Darren's definitely taking care of the cookout on Saturday night. He might have made a comment, and he's been booked. You might want to share a picture that I've forwarded to you.
Oh, hang on a second.
He's going to be the camp chef.
He's going to be the camp chef.
Could you imagine?
Oh my Lord! Look at that. Now, how is it I'd managed not to somehow save that picture?
I know, right?
I see. It came up as one of those. Hang on a minute. I'll get this one up. All right. Flick this, move that.
Is the way we're going with the snake stories and Dazza taking over the barbecue, we might not have any people come.
Don't be like that. Of course,
he's saying delete Carl. Delete Carl. No, you don't.
All
right. Why doesn't Dazza come on board? Why don't you jump in, Daz?
Because he'll take over the chat,
Yeah, he will. No, he can stay there.
He will too. So yeah, which is all well and good, but you'll never get a word in about the show. So all right, now. So this is the. Oh shit! There is a second picture that needs to be downloaded. So I'm bringing up the schedule. I'm sorry I didn't see this before.
I flied in from work. I had my. Doris is like, get on. We're going to be live in 20 minutes, or not even 10 minutes. And I'm like, what the hell? So that's why our hair was all weird, and Carl mentioned.
Yes, righto. I get you, girl.
It's still weird, but anyway, it is what it is. We're not.
You have beautified it beautifully. That's all I can say. And now that I've shown you that, I can remove that. And here is what taken so long to sort out.
There you go.
The only thing I think that is lacking in that image is he's not wearing the stubby holder around the neck, which is obligatory if you are the guy with the tongs in charge of the barbecue. He has to have somewhere to put the beer.
We need to get him one of those hats, with the 2 tinnies and the straws.
Oh, God, yeah. Let's start that. That'll be a day.
All right. Okay.
So let's have a look. This is what's planned for the My Place. So from the Friday 12 o'clock guest check-in, there's going to be a camp sing-along.
Yeah. Yes, there will be.
I can't.
With a number of guests.
Yeah, hopefully we'll have people there who can play a guitar, but I'll bring. There is a workshop with Trevor the Prepper. Oh, that'll be pretty cool.
I know. Australia's best prepper is coming to run a number of workshops with us. This one will be a night workshop. He'll bring along his awesome night vision goggles and take us on plenty of adults. It's both for kids and adults. Take us on a little bit of a nighttime walk, bit of a combat hide and seek. There might be some war paint available.
Okay. Yeah. 7 o'clock the next morning, you have a sound healing session. I think Darren and quite a few of the crew that will be camping around his part of the world will probably be in need of some healing. Usually that comes in the form of bacon and eggs, I thought. But the sound healing might work as well.
I think
they might
Darren
have to come back and have another go at 10
Sunday.
o'clock.
Darren put his hand up for the Sunday sound healing session. He was going to do the workshop, actually.
Was he? Okay. Wonder if it involves yodeling. The thing I'm really excited for is the community market that's going to be happening on the Saturday. Now, Doris, I've got to say, a community market aficionado, entrepreneuress extraordinaire. And I imagine that you've got maybe some of the folks that attend your markets in the northern part of Melbourne coming up for this event as well.
We do. We absolutely do. So not only a great Vic West representation will be there, but there are so many members that are coming in with their wares and creations. But we're actually opening it up to the local community as well. So we're going to be having some of the locals join us. So it will be an event that Saturday morning market will be actually open to the public. So we've got awesome lineup there, not only with the market stall holders, but what have we got? We've got coffee vans and food vans.
So you don't have to be coming to stay the weekend as part of My Place and be a stall holder. You can just be a stall holder for the day.
Absolutely. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. So more information about that will be coming out shortly. I just have to bust Vince's Vince for some cooperation.
Careful. Be careful about busting Vince in any way, shape, or form.
Yes.
I lend him to you only because it's you girls,
Okay. All right.
Well, and he does what he likes.
Caring, Carl. Come on.
So you can join us. You can join us on that Saturday to come out and see what we're about, because we've got a community market with all the normal bells and whistles that we put on. So live music, arts and crafts. The public can actually participate in one of the workshops that Trevor will be putting on during the day.
Oh, great!
Food trucks. It'll be plenty of the locals coming in with their local produce. So we're trying to organise, fruit and veggies that we can have fresh.
And beautiful fruit and veggies too from that part of the world. It'll be truly magnificent.
And it will be end of November. So we're going to have some really good produce by then. So
absolutely. So we're allowed to say, well, we're not really saying the name of the place, are we? But it's not far from Echuca, put it that way. And,
30 minutes.
And about 30 minutes or so. Full range of facilities. I said Craig Cole is going to be speaking on the Saturday as well, prior to the camp barbecues. So it'll be great to be able to catch up with Craig again. And
Carl, he'll actually be undertaking a bit of a workshop with the youth. Okay, so it won't only. It's not going to be we're not actually inviting speakers, right? It's all about connection, fun, music, and to keep us entertained with workshops and, just activities and events, right? That will keep us entertained. And of course, you can either join or sit in your own little, part of under a tree and enjoy the beautiful, beautiful resort that this is.
Ulikai is going to do a story time. I'm looking forward to that after Darren's barbecue. Now, I've got to say, I think that's two things I'm not going to miss. That'll be the camp barbecue and the chat with Ulikai, because I know that he speaks very well. So I'm looking forward to hearing just what he has to say on for this event. It'll be great. And then we're back to singing along. Are you providing a songbook? How's that going to work exactly?
Well,
we're going to have a stage show, weren't we? We're all going to compete against each other.
There is quite a bit of organising that's
like
happening.
The gang show.
Yeah, so
maybe. You have
something
to come
like
along.
The gang show. You girls remember The gang show? Oh,
Gang
you were
show?
girls. Maybe you didn't. Yeah, The gang show. It used to be for scouts and girl guides and cubs and brownies and all that kind of thing. I thought girls were involved, but maybe they weren't. But it used to happen in Victoria, at least. The gang show every year was a bunch of the best, if you like, performing scouts putting on a show quite often at the old Palais Theatre in St Kilda. And it was a huge event, for a week-long thing, and scout troops and whatnot would come from all over the state to go and either participate or to watch it. They probably don't do it anymore for obvious reasons. I think a lot of the people in charge of the scouts are now in jail for various crimes against the scouts or cubs or brownies or whatever. But a great loss. But yes, so a bit of a variety show is what you're saying for the Saturday night. So
I think we should. I think we should have a little competition.
Well, we are coming up.
You and Darren can do YMCA, Carl. With Craig Cole. You can have a little stage show.
Craig Cole, myself, Darren, and Greeny. We could do the Village People. Craig's got the handlebar moustache.
Yes. You can be the policeman. Is it the copper?
Yeah. I could wear a hard hat. Greeny could. I think. Well, it wouldn't be the first time we'd seen Greeny in a pair of chaps, so he could be the cowboy. And I guess that just leaves Darren as the biker. Oh no! Hang on, we're missing an Indian.
I'm sure we'll find someone. We actually thought at one stage to put on a dress up.
Will come. Yeah, it'd be great. We'll get an Uber driver to stand in for the Indian. It'll be fine. It'll all work out well.
We're only limited by our imagination, but we do have proper musicians coming too. Okay.
Okay, so there'll be entertainment in between the embarrassing bits, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yes.
I have to ask, will your husband Michael be bringing along his sausage?
Oh, you know what? We just literally finished dinner, and I was showing him Daz's photo, and he said, "Well, I'll definitely bring along some sausage." So yes, you've got it. He's watching you.
There
in the other
you go.
room.
Hello, Michael. How are you, brother?
Sausage stand.
Right, the best Polish sausage sticker, cooker, whatever you want to call him. Didn't put 1 ounce of his own sweat on the hot plate the whole time I watched, and was so popular that I wound up having 2 of them. I haven't had anything remotely like a Polish sausage or a Kransky or a German sausage or anything since about 1976, when that's all I ate while I was in Germany, and I've never been able to smell one since. But I've got to say, Michael's absolutely spectacular Kranskis. I am
You
looking
helped
forward.
him. You helped. We had you at that barbecue as well, Carl. We had you
I did
working.
turn a couple. I did turn a couple. Wouldn't be the first time I'd had a big thick sausage in my hand, though. You know, I've been around barbecues a lot in my day.
Yeah,
No comment. Let's move along.
The
Keep it plain.
Kranski sausages are definitely coming, darling. Yes. Yes.
Very good, very good. All right, let's go back to the less embarrassing things that might be happening. So another sound healing session on the Sunday morning, and then folks are going to be on their way, if they choose to be, from 12 o'clock. So I've opened my mouth a bit about this and said, if anybody wants to come down with me, then we should form a little group and toddle our way down. And I don't mind whether we go down the inland way, which is probably kilometre-wise from Brisbane closer than going down via Sydney and the Hume. However, Sydney and the Hume might be the Pacific Highway, and the Hume might be better options regarding roadworks and all that kind of thing for that. So are you girls adverse to me bringing friends from up north into your Victorian party?
If they're
More the
friends of
merrier.
yours, no, we have no issue with that whatsoever. We do, however, ask people to register through the link that you've shared, simply because we would like to know how many adults, how many children are coming, what are the age groups, so we can best cater the activities and the events to our great attendees. That's all we're
So
asking. Yeah.
what you're saying is there are going to be kids events or something
Yes.
for the kids as well?
Well, let me just give you a little rundown about the resort, Carl. It is a beautiful resort, only 30 minutes outside of Echuca, in a beautiful, secluded bushland setting. A caravan park that is friendly to pets, even horses. So it has some horse paddocks and a place where you can bring your horses.
I think Sherry was going to be the sheriff on her horse going
Yes.
around the caravan park.
We are going.
Yeah.
Sheriff Sherry is definitely joining us on her horsey. She might actually be doing on a little rodeo show. Sherry, if you're watching. It has everything that you'd expect a caravan park and more to have, because it has your beautiful natural bush setting of bush bike tracks, walking tracks, canoes to hire, archery, pools and basketball rings and netball stadium, a stadium. So plenty of things to do and keep yourself and the young ones occupied. Playgrounds, I think there's a splash pool too. Being the end of November as well, we're going to have some beautiful weather. So even without all our great activities, there'll be plenty to do just at the resort.
Just between you, me, and the gatepost, I think you've got a better chance of getting me in a skirt and putting on a goal attack bib than you have of getting me anywhere near a horse. So.
I'm writing all this down, by the way, Carl.
What size are you as well, Carl? Because we're going to order a mankini for the pool.
I'm a double D.
But also,
Sadly.
we can't forget to mention the other girls that have been helping in the background too. It just come up with an idea of us girls having a getaway to, oh my God, let's make it a massive camp out with everyone. So.
Okay. So this is what it was born.
In a week, it was all done.
Yep.
Oh, wow, that's great.
With an idea. And before we know it, we've got such a beautiful, we've just called it a dream team today of fantastic creative creators that just make anything happen, right? Let's make some phone calls. Boom, boom. Within a day or two, we had the location and the ideas just keep rolling. What a team. What an amazing team. Yeah.
Yeah, well, there are a bunch of great ladies who I've been very lucky to meet. Well, maybe not all of, but certainly quite a few of. and I can't wait to see you all again. I can't come near Melbourne without seeing you girls, so I'm very thankful to have you guys in my life, and I'm very thankful that you are such movers and shakers in the My Place industry. And industry is what we want it to become, really, because let's just talk about My Place for a bit. There are a lot of My Places now scattered across Australia, some larger than others, some more motivated than others, some being eaten up by internal politics, and some just being eaten up because their small membership has a bunch of, small group of committed people, but life gets in the way, and they all can't do everything, and they all can't fund everything that needs to be done. So that's why it's important that the larger, the more cohesive, the more organized My Places take the lead in developing this unity through community that we've been pushing now since the My Place inception. And I'm sure Darren would agree. And while he'll have some news to speak on, I'm not going to blow his trumpet, early on him. He'll have some news that I'm sure he'll come on and discuss with us in the not too distant future. That is further expansion on the My Place idea. But events like the one that November to the 2nd of December are just the beginning, and it won't be long before, Doris, I think you'll be hooking up your caravan and getting Michael's sausage making implements tucked away somewhere. And Beck, you're going to have to start organising Shane and Mitch. Maybe we get you a little van. God help us. Look out, we'll put the three of you in a bus.
I know, right?
Could be a bit of fun.
We'll make a convoy to our camp out.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's what we can call it. Hey, that's what we can call it.
Look at that.
See, you put one little seed in this woman's head, and then next month it will be ready.
We'll have.
I don't know how much
little
of that
stopovers.
everybody
that
caught
was so
didn't
much.
catch. Everything seems to have locked up. All right. Okay. Are we back? So, right,
Yeah.
let's say we didn't hear what you said then, Doris. We did, but let's say we pretend we didn't hear that. Write it down and go and protect that immediately, if not sooner. But I think that's a great idea. A great idea.
Carpool.
And
Absolutely.
we can roll that out.
The more of us, the more of us, the better. Carpooling, being together on this great trip. Look, it's not a huge trip. It's it's doable for everyone. We've got 4 months to prepare. We've got 4 months to get our gear, to plan what our act for Saturday night. Start practicing, right? Start rehearsing.
Point assistants we're going to do, you, Maddie, myself. Yeah.
Look, there might be some trophies for best performances and best dressed. So watch this space, because, there are things that still haven't been announced officially. But let's just say the future will be rocking.
I'm just thinking there are a couple of ways this could go for me. I could go back to my earliest, which would be Cub-related campouts, where a variety show was put on, and for some reason I was the one that everybody always voted to put in the dress, because back in those days somebody had to be in a dress. It was a punchline.
Sorry to cut you off, Carl, but have you got steps to get up on your bus, like a ladder to get up on the roof?
Yes, I do.
I know where you're going. I know where you're going with that.
A cock in a frock on a bus.
You should know better, Carl, than to bring us on your live show.
Could you imagine that? Carl, Queen of the Desert.
See it.
Or we could get someone who could play the guitar that I have, and I could sing you something.
Oh, serenade.
Hidden talent.
not in a dress, and it won't
think that would
and
be
it won't
brilliant.
be Celine Dion like. I could probably have a go at "I Will Survive," but somebody'd have to kick me in my third nut to get my voice up high enough to do that one. So, but yeah, so
Carl
yeah,
Silla.
there could be the Priscilla, Queen of the Caravan Park, or
Darren's comment.
what's that? Darren's comment.
Carl Silla. Shit. Like when
Oh.
candles on birthday cakes is Carl's specialty. Oh, shit.
Oh, that's
This is going to be
Thanks,
a
Dad.
fun weekend.
wow.
Mm.
Hang
It will
on.
be.
Now, Denise has given us some advice here, boys. If you go for a long horse ride, wear stockings. It stops the raw skin phenomenon, and you'll survive longer, apparently. Well, a long horse ride by my standards would be getting onto it, saying, take the fucking photo, and then me getting off it. That would constitute a long horse ride. A short horse ride would be walking up and saying, oh, yeah, there's a horse. Let somebody else ride it. So that'd be great. If somebody wants to bring along a motorbike, I'm very happy to probably not even happy to ride that these days. If you're going to bring along a four-wheeler or a side-by-side.
Have your own liability insurance.
Yes.
Yeah, right. Hasn't it spoiled everything?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
You know, you can't go and do anything on your own property these days for fear that some numpty who has turned up to enjoy and do exactly what you're allowing them to do. And even if they do sign their life away on a piece of paper, it's not worth anything. Not worth anything.
Oh, hi, Susan.
And all because the government wants their little slice out of it.
Yeah. We're going into a Campout, as responsible adults who will be responsible for their own affairs, health, injuries, horses, pets, and children. Okay.
That's true about that, eh?
We've got first aid tents as well. We're going to have some first aiders walking around the camp
Yes.
as well.
Scotty T. I don't mind that. Wearing stockings, you may as well ride horses in my heels. Right? I may have had that a little confused in my head. So, oh, yeah, there's something I'd love to do for 4 weeks. Sit on one of those little bloody bike seats so that my little puckered... Sure. No, I don't think I'd want to be on a bike. Well, a four-wheel bike, bigger seat. I don't have a particularly, fat bum. That's the problem. I've got a bony bum. So, and a broken coccyx.
We can go for dinks. Imagine us all on the back of bikes. Oh, we could have some fun.
Oh, we could have some fun.
I'm just walking. I'm walking.
Now,
an adventure on a motorized.
Yeah, Doris is very good with motorized things.
No. My last camping trip, when was that? February of this year. So
Has
yeah,
Carl got the photo?
No, and Carl will not have a photo. Becky, if you value our friendship.
I wouldn't do that on. No.
I'm a bit concerned for Jack. Now, I know Jack lives in a place where it's pretty bloody hot and you don't get to see too many other people or things, but Bikini Carl sings Boys, Boys, Boys. Dress Carl sings Stand By Your Man in gym tights, and Carl sings She Works Hard for the Money. Jack, you are a sick bastard. Sick bastard. I do love you dearly, but you're a sick bastard. Now, Tim Wilson, on the other hand, has one of the better ideas, a motorized esky.
Yeah,
I love that.
Now, we could have a motorized esky race, particularly around maybe a barbecue area. Not a fire pit. Wouldn't do it during a fire pit. But it does leave open some Evel Knievel-ish type events for later, I may have some experience at that, having done a few Bathurst 1000s in my day. So.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
Ooh.
All sorts of weird and wacky shit goes on up the mountain. Many people these days survive it. There were days where many didn't. Okay. There you go. Very good, Scott. You might be apologising for a gratuitous laugh that we've all been hiding on. Shetland pony sings. God, Jack, it's getting worse, mate. Will I have nipple tassels on? Go on, mate. It's your fantasy. I'm not saying it's happening. I'm just saying.
I like
What we gotta do.
Rachel.
All right, so
Rochelle's comment is quite funny, wondering what we're all on. We're on pure Campout.
Life.
Yeah.
these women have this effect on me. They are very bad influence on my life, except when I'm around them, and then they're really good influence on my life. But when I'm away from them, it's very bad.
Oh, we've had some fun.
We have had some fun, and they've
We
turned
should
out
do
to
a-
be a couple of the wonderful friends that I've made through this
should
show
do a
and
quick-
through my place.
Can we do a quick little promo for Maddie too? Maddie with her Mama Luca. Mama Luca?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's do that. And in fact, why don't you explain what Mama Luca means or is?
Well, Doris can do that one. Doris
Mama
knows more about
Luca.
Mama Luca.
Our darling Maddie is not feeling the best. So shout out to Maddie. Hope you get better soon. Mama Luca is now you've had some of Maddie's soups, Carl. You know just what amazing meals this woman makes and creates.
Mhm.
Oh yes. Is she is coming to this event, isn't she?
Oh, of course.
Yes, definitely. She's
And
been
she
in the
does have
background
a
organising.
cabin. She does have a cabin with her own kitchen.
Now.
Need to be clear, because otherwise anybody else who thinks they're going to use the camp kitchen while Maddie's there are in for a bit of a shock, and it would be abrupt. I'm just saying.
She has her own kitchen. She has her own
Right.
kitchen for sure.
Good. Right.
But
Very good.
Mama Luca is a little idea that she had to create healthy and nutritious food that we all love as meals available. So do we have a picture, Beck? I'm really hopeless at this.
Let me get the picture.
So she cooks up a storm and offers
yeah.
people to come and get a belly full. Okay, it's just amazing stuff.
She doesn't know, just like all beautiful, let me call them European-based chefs, mamas. They know how to cook, and what they don't know how to do is cook a little bit. They know how to cook a lot, a lot, and you're not allowed to leave until you've eaten a fairly large portion of it. It doesn't matter how polite you want to be. So Mama Luca is Maddie's little idea where she can share a bit of the love that she creates in the kitchen with everybody. And it's a bit difficult, I suppose, getting it up here to Queensland. But if it were possible to get her feeding me 5 nights a week, I would. I'd be a lot bigger than I am now. But gee, I'd be a happy man.
We told you to move on down 2 our way.
Yeah, I don't know.
I know.
Yeah.
I sent you a link to your email for Mama Luca's Facebook page.
Roger that. I shall attempt to go and get it and have a bit of a look. So, yes, folks, if you're in the sort of northern parts of Melbourne, northern western parts of Melbourne, Mama Luca is available to you. Obviously, she's feeling a little bit off at the moment, but Maddie's cooking is simply spectacular. I cannot. There are so many things that I've tried with her that I've never eaten before in my life. And seriously, some of it changes your life. It's just, how some of it she can get to just melt in your mouth completely.
Yeah.
Is what gets me. It does. come.
You are outstanding.
It's Carl.
Register. Oh, sorry, back. I hope so. It's important that people register. So http://web.myplaceaustralia.org/vic-camp-out/ and put down who's coming. If you're going to come a long distance and you're going to come from Queensland or New South Wales and come down with me, convoy down with me, then please also email me so I know which part of the world you might be joining us. We might spend a couple of nights on the road if there are a few people, because I understand it's very rare that you find people that will drive distances every day like I will. So some people might like to travel 4 hours a day or 5 hours a day. I'm quite capable of traveling 17 hours a day. A lot of people won't like that, but I've only got 10 meters to walk back to bed, so make it pretty easy to pull up. So we'll organise.
I love that idea. Convoy with Carl. Oh.
Well,
and who's to say these campouts don't happen in each state one day?
That's right.
Wow.
That's right. Well, I'm sure that Luke and crew will be looking at this from the Gold Coast perspective. There are a number of wonderful venues on the Gold Coast that would welcome an event of this nature, I am sure, including one particular off-grid caravan park I can think of straight away would welcome such an opportunity.
Oh, there you go.
And
I tell you what, Carl, we had a bit of a national meeting yesterday where we shared some of what is going on, and I think the nation is inspired. You'll be seeing a number of these little, initiatives, events popping up all over the place because, it's fun. It's about bringing people together, coming together,
Sure.
as family units. And just letting our hair down, right? Yeah. So watch this
absolutely. Letting our hair down in a socially responsible and cohesive, unifying way.
You said it.
Right?
You said it.
Which means that I'll hold your hair back while you're vomiting, girls. It'll be fine.
We might be holding yours back, Carl.
No, you won't. There'll be none of that.
Never know.
From me.
Just don't take any drinks from Doris or I then. Hey.
Yeah, God, now that's going to be a bloody trap, isn't it? No. So, no, folks, I only drink scotch and I will take one bottle with me for 3 days. And if it doesn't last 3 days, then so be it.
I think Maddie's going to jump onto the Rumble. I've just sent her the link.
Roger that. So Crunch has actually said we're going to have to switch over to the Rumble channel too. Be aware, folks, that yes, the YouTube channels could disappear at any time because they are now taking a bit of a political stance, and some of the things that are being said on this channel from time to time might go against the community standards that aren't very community based that you turds seem to be now wanting to inflict on us. This could be in part in lead up to what could happen in Australia and what is, from all accounts, happening in New Zealand, girls. Now, have you heard about this crackdown on the unjabbed in New Zealand and the new laws that have been put in place to round them up?
Yes.
No.
Yeah, Michael keeps me informed, you see, because he watches shows like yours. And
yeah, well, it's a pretty horrific thing. The government have now introduced and instigated a law where they can take the unjabbed and jab them forcibly. So this is something that has been not advocated for directly, but in a speech that Dutton gave in the last 48 hours or so, he's quite happy to support whatever measures are required, and that would work from anybody who is not complying with government. He wants you to dob on your neighbours if they think about the world a little bit differently to you do, because maybe they choose to homeschool their kids rather than send them off to be brainwashed by a group of teachers who themselves have only been brainwashed at university level to impart what they are allowed to impart to our kids. So I think it's a very important thing that we are awake up to that, and it's important that and things like the discussions that will take place around the campfire at this campout and others around the country. I know the Gold Coast will get something together. It's quite possible that we will look at something for Central Queensland and Far North Queensland and a variety of places in between, because let's face it, a trip to Far North Queensland for a camp out is not going to be 1 or 2 days. You're going to want to come up and spend a week or two up there, and the event might be spread out over 3 or 4 days, but we might have various different jumping on and jumping off points before and after such events. So it's all something we can all get together and work on, can't we?
100%. We can exchange states with each other. Does that make sense?
And we'll have to get that car of yours serviced so that you can pull the van all over.
We should start investing in our own caravan parks and resorts. Now, that'll be something.
Well, I know a lady named Cass Smith who's pretty interested in those sorts of things. Cass is obviously, the businesses that she's looking at investing in and being involved in are very much along those lines, and she's got a great group of people around one business that they've already set up along those lines. So I know for the most part at the moment she's still pretty focused on just getting herself settled in at the new place, but I'm sure once she's got all that sorted, it'll be something she would look at helping out with 100%, and all the ins and outs of what's required.
Yeah. Well, maybe this will be the inspiration that's needed for people to.
Yeah, I know there's some folks who live. I want to say it's down south of Beaudesert or Boona, and they have a homestay or a home farm stay kind of thing, which is an off-grid caravan park, and that's zoned as such as well. They were interested some years ago in something, I suppose, not dissimilar to what's happening around Mount Tambourine, and
beautiful up there.
They may still be. If that's the case, please reach out. We've had a few changes of people behind the scenes, and I've forgotten your names, but the email addresses might still be in the system somewhere. Unhelpful if I don't remember the names. But if that's you guys, reach out, carl@vofhq.com. Would love to put you in touch. And maybe we can come and have a farm stay weekend.
Exactly.
How cool would that be for the kids?
And as we kind of had a bit of a chat offline, there's another little great incentive that is going to make its way around the nation, and that's our newsletters that we're putting out. So where people or businesses or owners of such establishments could perhaps advertise their space and their services and trades. So yeah.
A lot of people are, as Sunflower is saying, I do not consent. A lot of people are not consenting to a lot of the things that are going on in the world right now. And there is a lot more happening in Victoria, given some of the bastard acts that you guys suffered. And now you seem to have just inherited another robotic-minded Labor nupty as a leader down there, making decisions and new laws that are going to severely impact the people of Victoria going forward. I believe there are now some new laws going to come into effect that will severely curtail your privacy and your ability to limit what government gets to learn about you. Are you familiar with what's going on there?
Well, we're familiar with what is the counter attack, if you can call it an attack, to peaceful. We come in peace. We always come in peace. That's what we're concentrating on, is the solution, not their laws, because they're their laws, they're not our laws.
Yeah.
I think it's a lot of
True.
fear mongering too, trying to make us all stop doing what
Oh.
we're doing.
Here we go, Camillo from Queensland. Sorry, the
Yeah, on the sunny coast. They've got one coming up on the 7th and 8th of September, which I
Yes.
might be able to make as well, Camillo. So reach out, let me know, mate. That could work for me heading north around
Road
about
trip,
that
Doris? You want to go on a road trip, Doris?
Ooh, do all the campouts.
Well, I can pick you up at the Sunny Coast Airport, ladies, and I have a double swag, so one of you is welcome to that, and one of you is welcome to the couch. So, or you can
Only if
both
you
come
can
up with
access
the
that
swag.
roof of yours.
I'm sorry, the what of mine?
The roof.
The
Oh,
road-
roof.
What do you think I
Right.
said?
Well, the connection's a
Yes,
bit fuzzy.
Let's not go there. Let's not go there.
Connection's a bit fuzzy tonight. All right, ladies, I'm going to love you and leave you. And,
Thank you.
Been awesome.
and everybody, if you are interested, please go to that website. It starts with web.myplaceaustralia.org/Vic-Campout or cab-out/ and register your interest before going along to that.
Or rather than remembering all that, I think the guys, I'm sure Vince has done an amazing job and has actually now made a tab in your state. So all you need to do is just click Victoria and it'll take you right into this Campout. You see? Tell you what,
Very good. So
for
that's
the
through the
people-
Unity Hub.
That's for the website.
Yeah. But you're talking about going through the Unity Hub.
No,
Vince has put up.
myplaceaustralia.org. And
Oh,
you'll see
okay,
a new
righto.
tab. There's a new tab now and it says in your state. And you'll be able to navigate your way through there. Quite easy. So, yeah.
Looks like
Susan,
Susan.
one of our admins. Susan's
There you
here.
go.
Hello, Susan.
Susie.
Awesome to see you.
Well, sounds like there is a place in the Northern Rivers that might be worth pulling over and having a bit of a look at. And I know, I'm not sure whether or not her pub is open again yet. It may not be. There was some big hurdles to get it open. But there is a little pub in a little town on the border of Queensland and New South Wales that we could potentially pull up to too. And
We're
we
taking
might be
over.
able to reignite the idea that we were sort of semi-hatching down at the Cali Hotel in Singleton about getting a red ensign themed painting or roof job done places along the New England Highway,
Okay.
Queensland border, trying to get one in
I
every
was
town
taking
to make it something of a trail. Maybe that's something I can talk with Brad and Shane about and see whether or not there's any interest to reignite that as well. So all these things that we can be bringing together to unite our community, to make new friends, to catch up with old ones, to learn new skills, and maybe make a few things and go to one of Doris's markets and sell them. Make a few bucks. Works for me.
It'll be a community market. It'll be a community market by the awesome community that will be part of this great event. We're so excited. Thank you, Carl. Thank you for allowing us to come on and talk about our great event and
Anytime.
for joining us. It'll be a hoot.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to being able to bring it to people too. So particularly the community market, I'll have a bit of equipment with me that we'll be able to go for a bit of a wander around and share the market live, provided we can get Wi-Fi signal out of there. But as long as we can do that, we'll figure it out.
There could be an issue because we are surrounded by trees, so that's something that people need to consider and be aware of. We are going bush, so as far as Wi-Fi goes, you might need to fire up your Starlink.
Starlink and park in the horse paddock. Yep, I hear what you're saying. It's all good.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Well, thank you, ladies.
Ciao.
Have a lovely evening. And Truth Seekers, what are you doing? When's the next time people can come up and catch up with Truth Seekers?
We've got SG coming on in next week, I think. We've got some other amazing Aussies that are coming on board. We've got can't really say much, but we're interviewing quite a lot of the Aussie crew of what they've been doing. And yeah, I can't say no more. But stay tuned, Truth Seekers TV on Rumble. Yeah, a lot of really, really good interviews, and we'll see how we go.
We'll see you soon. Looking forward to it.
Ciao, ciao.
Goodbye, ladies.
Ciao.
Two of the best girls in the game, and would love to see you at this event down in Victoria, the Victorian Campout. It is happening once again. I'll throw the banner up so you can get a bit of an idea for it. Darren will be on the barbecue, and the event itself is coming up on November the 29th through to the 2nd. I want to say it is of December. Maybe that's just when I'm leaving. The 1st, then. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yeah, 30 days of September, April, June, and November. So, yep, that'll be the dates, all right. 29th to the 1st of December. And that is the web address. I've posted it in the chat. So, folks, you'll be able to get a bit of a look in there. Go and click on it and register. And if you do want to catch up with me to drive down that way, then please let me know. If there is nobody that wants to catch up and drive down, then that is okay. No problems. I'll do the drive in a fairly short stab. But if there are those that want to make a bit of a trip out of it, then let's talk about it and let's arrange it in plenty of time to get down there for the big event in Victoria and get back again. We might be able to incorporate Camillo's. So Camillo, send me a flyer for that one of yours, mate, so I can help promote that. And I don't know how many people you can take at your event, but very happy to promote that one as well, mate. You know how that goes. Wayno from Willow. You've had a shipment of bobs turn up. Good stuff, Wayno. Yes, well, bobs are a bit cheaper to buy today, whether you buy them by 15 or 40. And if you go to ainslieybullion.com.au, you will find the Ainsley 1/10 is what we're referring to with the Byron bobs. Well, they're a tenth of a bob. The half bob is a half-ounce Ainsley round, and then there is the 1 ounce Ainsley round, which is the full bob. And Byron Bay have embraced this, along with certain parts of the Sunshine Coast and a couple of towns a little bit further north, and I believe some in Victoria are starting to open up to accepting the Byron bob as a way of trading out for things like breakfast in a coffee shop or a lunch roll and a can of drink, things like that sort of stuff, that you can flick one of these coins over, get $10 and walk away with a good feed and well watered. So Ainsley Bullion, of course, are celebrating 50 years in the business. They know what they're on about, and they will look after you if you mention my name, or they'll always look after you, but you'll get a little bit of a deal if you mention my name or the Voice of Freedom. And you can do that at ainslieybullion.com.au, making an order online. There is a notes section there. Just make sure in that notes section you put my name or Voice of Freedom, and you will automatically get a discount on what you're buying, whether that be a little bit or whether that be a lot. And while the discount isn't terribly large, it is also it adds up depending on the quantities you're buying. And Ads, I think, has also told me that wallet. Folks have been watching Bitcoin, I guess, over the last couple of days, seeing what it's doing with the stock market crashing. The market's recovery would be a very strong term to say what's going on in the stock markets today. Recovery would be an overstatement of what's going on. But if you read the ASX.com rundown particularly, you would almost swear the fairies are farting gold dust at the ASX at the moment. Unfortunately, that isn't the case in Japan and many other markets around the world. Japan yesterday realized its largest single drop ever in trading history on the Nikkei. it went down 12 points or thereabouts. Australia today recovered a point of a point, or 0.25 of a point. That was on the back of the recovery yesterday. That is, I'm using the ASX term there, recovery, which I think was 0.3 of a point. Not hard to see that there is a long road to recovery at the stock market. What's going on with the price of silver and gold? Well, gold's gone up a little bit, come down a little bit, gone up a little bit, come down a little bit. Silver has just kept going down. So at the moment, it's around $41, the spot price for silver for an ounce. Now, that's pretty cheap. Haven't been able to buy it that cheap for a while. And you might recall only a couple of short months ago, the spot price shot up within hours over $6 or $8. So if you do have a spare $40 or a bit more, I'd be going and buying as much silver from Ainsley as I could right now. If you've got any spare money, go and do that. Invest in precious metals. And if you still haven't done so, remember, Big Super is under the microscope. The head of the AMP Economics Division has already identified that Australia's debt levels are out of control, and really the only way to change that is to change the laws and take a little piece of everybody's superannuation, 1% of everybody's superannuation. Now, if you don't think you've already contributed enough to the government, then by all means don't change. But if you would like to have some level of control over your own wealth and where you spend and choose to spend that wealth, you may well choose to spend 1%. But wouldn't you prefer to choose to do it rather than have it demanded upon you and demanded of you and enforced upon you? Well, the only way to do that is to get your super out of Big Super and get it into something you can control, a self-managed super fund. And Cass Smith is the lady with her team at Freedom Financial Solutions that can help. So email me, Carl, at vofhq.com, and I will forward that on to Cass, and we can help you set that up. And it can happen in as little as a couple of weeks. They're working through them pretty swiftly now. Cass's team is one of the best in the business, and they have done nothing but this for the last 4 or 5 years. So the departments, the banks, the super companies all know who they're dealing with, and not to mess around. They tried, and they failed. So give that a go. Please give that a go. It's one of the strongest pieces of advice. Not that I give financial advice in any way, shape, or form, but from me to you, get some silver in your life and get gold if you can. But silver is the way to go, and fingers crossed, sooner rather than later, you will realize a return on that will just blow your mind. All right, beautiful people, I'm going to love you and leave you for tonight. I've prattled on now for nearly an hour and a quarter. Thank you to the girls for joining me tonight, Doris and the lovely Becio. Truth Seeker TV on Rumble, always worth a watch. And yes, she is the Australian connection to SGN On, and pretty much to 107 too. So I have sent Juan a couple of texts recently to try and get a bit of an idea on his thoughts on a couple of issues happening in the world. Haven't heard anything back. So is he man, or he's still on that boat somewhere and having a great night or day, depending on which part of the world he's in. At any rate, I hope you have a bloody great day or night. Please consider coming and joining us. We would love to see you at the event down in Victoria, and the event, the My Place event, happening on the Sunshine Coast, 7th and 8th of September. Camillo, send me the details for that, and I will make sure that I give it a good plug. See you, folks. Be safe on the roads and avoid those dickheads.
You let one ant stand up to us, then they all might stand up. Those puny little ants outnumber us 100 to 1. And if they ever figure that out, there goes our way of life. It's not about food. It's about keeping those ants in line. That's why we're going back. Does anybody else want to stay? Let's rock!